Mr. John Moody to give us his address. Before he does that, and then after John Moody comes to the podium, we're going to have Mephi Mentor, who is again another legend of our liberation. We know why we're all here, and the reason that South Africa is saying we are heartful with what has happened, it is because of people like that who will also give us her remarks, and each of them as they come up.
So together, you and I and ActionSA members across South Africa have provided a real political alternative to every South African who is hopeful of zero service delivery from the government. We built that alternative to the criminal enterprise which is masquerading as a political party known as the ANC, another national corruption crisis. From our roots in the People's Dialogue, we have stood for the common vision of inclusive prosperity, a vision held by every peace-loving South African. Today, we are here in Soweto as a testament to what it truly means to act as one. Friends, we are here not for ourselves. ActionSA does not exist for its members, not for me, not for you, not for President Herman Mashaba. ActionSA exists for the benefit of the people of South Africa. It exists for the forgotten people of South Africa, those that the governing ANC thinks are not worth their attention. It exists for Nathaniel Julius, who is and was a 16-year-old child with Down syndrome, who was killed by police officers in El Dorado Park, supposedly because he failed to respond to their harassment. This young man had simply gone to buy biscuits at the local shop. "Ek soek my biscuits" was his mantra. Is a phrase that has become an endearing shorthand in remembrance of Nathaniel, his innocence, and the potential he represented. And you know what? Do you know what? You want to hear something? Ek soek my Suid-Afrika. Ek soek my betere toekoms. I want a better future for my grandchildren and for all your grandchildren. Because South Africans deserve better. Jy soek jou Suid-Afrika? Ons soek ons Suid-Afrika. Afrika terug. From the northernmost point of Equator's Hammanskraal in Tshwane, then near to the borders of Zimbabwe. He has to travel through 2 or 3 border posts before he gets home. To the easternmost part of Tlogesi Twatwa, that place known as Springs, Nigel, Nkululeni, almost in the Free State, yeah? To the depths of Ndeni, here in Soweto, and all the way around this glorious, rich and powerful province of Gauteng. We did the work of reaching communities and sharing our message of hope and renewal. We continue to do that today. My people, you and I know that everywhere people are hurtful. People are hurtful of government inaction in the face of growing unemployment. They are hurtful of government's complicity in corruption, and they are hurtful of a government that won't even try to protect or respect them. But I'm here not to preach to the converted. You all know this. You see and experience it yourselves. I'm here to say, let us go even deeper. I'm sure you have seen that there are still many people who do not know who we are, or they do not know how to reach us. Let me be frank. Whilst the work we have done to this day has been nothing short of amazing, more amazing work is required. We cannot risk the saving of this country because we are excited when we see Harm Mashal. I have enough experience in this political business to tell you that we must drag them to the polling stations. You see, if you don't go out and talk to people and invite them to become part of this beautiful movement known as ActionSA, don't for one moment believe just because they see you in your regalia and because they see you visible, that they are going to vote for us. People want us to communicate with them and invite them to experience this movement and experience what can happen should they vote for change and vote for ActionSA. This work is not a sprint, it is a marathon. We want to steadily recruit one voter at a time, convert one voter at a time, and connect with communities. Now I have a goal. Each day when I wake up and I thank my Lord for the new gift of life and the new day, I ask what is my purpose. My purpose is to serve South Africa and to serve its people, and that way I'll serve my Lord. But I say I want to talk to 20 people, at least 20 people, wherever I may be it the petrol pump attendant, be it the lady that is in the aisles there filling the packers in the shopping center, or be it the cashier, or be it the car guy. I speak to people so that I communicate with them and invite them to Action South Africa. So, we had 18.3 million South Africans who did not vote in 2019. They did it not so because of because of the fact that they had nothing to do. They had just given up on everything, and we see it daily. When we go and we talk to people, we hear that they say, another political party, what do you have to offer? This is my response to them. If you don't lift a finger and go out to register to vote, then you won't experience any change. Because only 17.8 million South Africans actually voted. You see, we have the right offer. We have the stuff that people want. We have the solutions and experience required to execute them. We have come from far-flung areas and from all over social, economic, and racial groupings. But we are ActionSA, and we act as one. Acting as one is what has brought us together this day. We will deliver Tloko Mseki as a Ekurhuleni mayor in the upcoming elections by acting as one. Do you believe that? Yes. Do you believe that? Yes. Do you believe that we will deliver Eagle Tower to the Tshwane House when we act as one? Yeah. Come on, guys, I use the word. I want to hear. You see, if you don't believe it, you're not going to be able to react. You believe it. That's better. You believe that we will deliver Harm Mashal as Joburg mayor? That's the response I want. And in 2024, we will deliver Herman Shaba to the union buildings. And you know where the union buildings are? They will be in Abel House 20 when we act as one. We will move from power, that criminal enterprise known as the ANC, by acting as one. Together we will restore South Africa's wish to belong to an inclusive and growing economy, a country of social and racial harmony. We can make this happen by working together and acting as one. Those who seek to divide us from inside and outside of government will not be able to do so. We are not scared. We are ready. We are ready for these elections, and others want to run scared. We want the voters, and the voters want us. Let us work. Like a phoenix, South Africa will rise from the ashes, as it is us who will make it rise. I want to congratulate you, ActionSA's. You did it. 1 year of solid hard work, and there are many more to come. You know, the first year, they will tell you that the child's brain from the day that it is born to its first year anniversary grows double the time. And within the first 5 years, the first 3 years, 80% of brain development has taken place. So that tells you that we, and I look at how we have grown over this year, and I can just say to you, wow. Wow. President Mashaba and colleagues, thank you for your exemplary leadership that has gotten us to this point. Because here is a leader that climbs up electric poles to put up posters. A humble man. A man of integrity. He does not leave his title. He leads by example. And everybody, when I say that we are fully behind this mission to win the upcoming elections in 2024, go to that scene as the mayor of Johannesburg so that you can continue the work that you have started in 2016. Viva Herman Mashaba, viva!
But I'm glad to be standing in front of you on this auspicious day, very important day, 1 year after the birth of this green organization. We have grown exponentially. We have put structures all over the country, amazing. We have managed to contest key economic hubs. And that's very significant, that we will contest Johannesburg, we will contest eThekwini, we will contest Ekurhuleni, we will contest Tshwane. It's no small feat. I so dearly wish we could contest the Western Cape, doesn't happen, we are banking on you to win with excessive margins on behalf of all of us that are sitting in South Africa today that would like to contest and that cannot wait for 2024, but have been forced by circumstances not to contest if ever we would not contest. I'm still hopeful. You know, I believe in a God that works miracles. I know that we can wake up tomorrow and we are able to contest in Maritzburg. We are able to contest in Rustenburg. We are able to contest in the city of Cape Town. I've not lost hope. Dumelang. Abushe. Rimatsiari. Am I speaking well? Okay. Monweni. Sanibonani. Uyamora yala? I just want to tell you something that has been in my heart for a long time. I've never said it to anybody. At one stage, I wanted to WhatsApp Michael and tell him, but I decided against it. And Dr. Taylor will attest this. Since prior to 1994, when we were preparing to fight the first election as a ruling party and various parties to contest for democracy, we had in the ANC, where I come from, leadership across the racial spectrum. However, Michael Beaumont is the first white politician that I have seen hanging posters, and he was doing that with Dr. Mama. Will stay with me for the rest of my life. I have yet to see that picture from 1993, and I saw it only because of ActionSA, where you don't have leaders that some of them must do the footwork and the hard work and sweat, and others must sit behind in the boardrooms and do some strategic planning and do. So Michael, I've been involved in politics for the longest part of my life. Since I was 13 at a boarding school in the rural Northwest, not Northern Cape. I was from the Northern Cape, sent to the Northwest to a boarding school because my father could detect that I was becoming political. So he was trying to punish me, but he delved me deeper into politics unknowingly. So since then, I've been yearning for and I've been fighting for freedom and for the needs of our people consistently through my life. I have seen politicians come and go. I've seen promises being made and being broken. But I've never been as excited as I am by a movement like I am because of ActionSA. I am excited about what ActionSA represents for the remaking of the future of this country, this broken country, this country. And the doldrums by those who had undertaken to take it forward and to make it prosperous and to share its benefits up equally amongst the people are the very ones that broke the promises, disappointed so bitterly. But we now have a chance. God and the universe and the ancestors have provided us with a vehicle when almost every South African was losing hope. When there was the highest level of skills flight and financial flight out of our country, just at the niche of time. And this is what I said to Mr. Mashaba when I spoke to him for the first time on the phone when I was looking into joining ActionSA after, just before it was launched. I said, Mr. Mashaba, if we agree, and he agreed, of course, he had the same mission, that one, the objective is to displace the ANC from power, the endemically corrupt ANC. And we agree on, because Mr. Mashaba had sent me a product of the People's Dialogue. It's revised version, not comprehensive version. And I liked it. We spoke today and then we spoke the next day. The next moment we were on Zoom. The next moment he was signing me in. And we were binded by the fact that our mission is to displace the ANC, to remove it from her. Because up to the formation of ActionSA, no political party has boldly intended or said or declared or even behind corners in corridors that they would like to remove the ANC from power. That is our sole mission, and we dare not fail on it. In a year's time, we have done more to change the life of South Africans and bring hope to many. You have heard many people say that we are the last hope, and we dare not play with that grave responsibility that we have been given. To tell you a short story, I took an Uber, thanks Michael, from the airport we are in. So the first question I said to the Uber driver, do you know Herman Mashaba? Oh yes, I know him. Where do you know him from? He was a mayor of Gauteng, but he now leads ActionSA. And the Uber driver says, I am a member. I was telling my boss, because I have a leg issue, sometimes I rest a little bit in the vehicle for a few moments when they do the ups and downs and all those things. Since I arrived here, I've interacted with 5 JMPD members. All of them are openly ActionSA. The other one driving from Julius's place, Elders. What we witness, JMPD members in full uniform doing this to the bus, the green number. So it shows that in how can you do work, and I would like to congratulate you. But I would like to, because elections are won the very last moments, the last weeks. It's when you win elections. You don't win elections months ahead. And to win elections, let me tell you the ANC secret. It's voter contact. It's not social media. That is why Malema has got more than 5 million people on Twitter. But how many people have voted in power? He has never won a single one in a local government. So let's not be complacent. Let's increase our pace every day. Let's contact as many people as possible daily and nightly. The bigger challenge still lies ahead. We contest on the 27th of October. We might in February or we don't know when. The challenge is the longer the elections are put forward, the more fatigue sets in, demoralization because of this and that, conflict may arise. So it will be better if the election, but you must be aware to those challenges, be alive to them, and actually don't even seek to nip them in the bud, but prevent them from occurring. This means that we must be economic on resources, we must plan efficiently, so that we don't tire ourselves, and we must also in time and of violence. I thank you. Amanda! important day. You know, as I entered this hall, I could not resist feeling a sense of belonging and confirming that indeed the beautiful one has been born. And the reason why I'm saying so, Mr. President, it's because I come from a province called KwaZulu-Natal, and I grew up in the African National Congress. And one of its greatest leaders, Chief Nkosi Albert Lutu, once said, I believe that here in South Africa, with all our diversities of color and race, we will show the world a new pattern for democracy. There is a challenge for us to set a new example for all. Let us not sidestep this task. Close quote. Mr. President, this mission has been betrayed. But through your leadership, we've been able to rescue this mission. This is the only party after the United Democratic Front, which was a movement, that is truly non-racial, that is truly representing the interests of every South African. Now, Mr. President, as ActionSA, we must not see ourselves as starting a new chapter, but in fact, we are taking a mission forward of building this non-racial and non-sexist society. We are building a prosperous South Africa, under inherently corrupt conditions. We cannot build a new South Africa when we ignore the pain of our own citizens and open our borders and let everybody just come in. We cannot build a new South Africa if we have lawlessness. What we saw in KZN on the 8th of July, that went for days, is a clear indication of what corruption can do. Corruption divides us, and corruption fuels racial tensions. And yes, Mr. President, a year of growth in ActionSA has been nothing short of a dream. A dream held not only by myself, but South Africans as a whole. In KwaZulu-Natal, it's a dream of our people that they have embraced ngezandla zombili. As the provincial chairperson of KwaZulu-Natal, the most beautiful province in South Africa, I've been humbled by the reaction that we have received. We have received the support from, overwhelming support from the traditional leaders in KwaZulu-Natal. And mind you, KwaZulu-Natal has the largest concentration of traditional leaders. All of them, they have embraced us because they are also saying this is alien to us. What the ANC is doing is alien to the dream that we had for this country. We have received the support from the middle class of all race groups. And in South Africa, we have a very strong upcoming middle class group of Black Africans in particular. And very interestingly, even some good teachers within the South African trade unions have even approached me saying, you know what is happening now? We can no longer be part of it
because some amongst us are destroying the education system. We cannot be part of that. Action SA, would you accept us if we come on board? Now, to me, this is important. We've received the support from workers, we've received the support from the unemployed, who are saying, we are betrayed by this government. It is opening up borders and it is forgetting about us. We are not lazy people. And I can tell you, this stigma that is attached to South Africans who are unemployed is a lie. With me in KwaZulu-Natal, those unemployed young people are the ones that were helping us putting up Action SA posters. They worked diligently for nothing. All we had to give them was a little stipend here and there and give them some food. That's all. They worked from morning until the afternoon, late afternoon. And I wanted to say, it's about time we start focusing on our people. Charity begins at home. We can't start addressing the problems of other countries, corrupt governments that are outsourcing their economic to outsource their economic problems to South Africa. We have our own problems. And the problems that we have in the continent, and we must, there's a leader that inspires me called Amika Cabral, maybe some of you know about him. And he says, claim no easy victories. Expose lies where you see them. And there's been a lie that has been said, especially by leaders like Julius Malema, who say, no, these people hosted us during the liberation struggle. Indeed, they did. But let me tell you, as somebody who's from the ANC, who was in the ANC, even in Tanzania, as people who were coming there, seeking asylum, political asylum, we were at the camp. It was not a free-for-all. We are a sovereign country. How can we deplete our resources when we have an unemployment rate of the youth of over 74%? How can we try and solve other people's problems when our people who have unemployed graduates in hundreds of thousands? Make no mistake, Mr. President, Action SA is growing exponentially, even in KwaZulu-Natal. I went with Michael to when our Isindo Samabandla passed away. We went there, the kind of reception we received as Action SA, even there with Michael, it was quite heartwarming. And it's telling me that, you know what, we must understand that this mission is a mission of every South African. Every South African must be We are working to paint every corner of the province green. I know that my fellow provincial chairpersons are doing the same in Western Cape and here in Gauteng. And I also saw that even in Mpumalanga, when during our Lilimai court case, people are actually loving Action SA in Mpumalanga. We've been approached by people in the Eastern Cape, we've been approached by the people in Northwest, we've been approached by people in Limpopo, we've been approached by people in Free State, we've been approached by people in Northern Cape. Everyone in South Africa is looking for a political home. They have been betrayed, and we are here as Action SA to rescue that mission. Mr. President, we are not just stopping here. We are growing branches in every province. In my province, KwaZulu-Natal, there is a place, by the way, that some of you may know called Newcastle. In Newcastle, there are 34 wards. And in each and every ward of Newcastle, Action SA has an established branch and a branch executive committee. Let me be honest, Initially, the party was not going to contest in the local government elections in any of the municipalities in KZN. I was crushed because, I know my people. I know my people from KZN. You see, that is why I'm like that. I'm like, you see. I told not to be fearful. So that is why I take it to Zuma, you see, because we are told to be brave. And if you confront something, you rather die with significance than die with However, Mr. President, the reason why we wanted ActionSA to contest in KwaZulu-Natal, it's because the rot that is in eThekwini municipality. We have a situation in eThekwini municipality where not only the former mayor is facing criminal charges, that is Sandile Gumede, the municipal manager, Mr. Nzusa, who is a chartered accountant, by the way, but you have over 60 councillors are also implicated in those criminal charges. And as I speak to you, they have not been able to even fill the position of the deputy mayor after Belinda Scott resigned. Because they are so factional. Being a councillor to them is about the close proximity to state resources. It's not about our people. And we must not make that mistake. We must serve our people. The corrupt rule of the ANC had to come to an end, Mr. President. Our people deserve better. Our people deserve solution, and ActionSA is ready to give them that. In fact, it was the people of eThekwini who insisted on presenting a business case to Senate, ActionSA's highest decision-making body, for us to contest eThekwini. Since getting the green light, we have hit the ground running in eThekwini, and I'm pleased to announce that we are contesting all the 111 wards. We have been fortunate to attract individuals who are differently skilled and who are willing to work with ActionSA in order to turn our city and ultimately our country around. I am truly humbled by the fact that every single race group in KwaZulu-Natal, and Mr. President, you've seen it for yourself. We've been to Indian communities, we're well received. We've been to Black African communities, we've been well received. We've been to white communities, we've been well received. We've been to Kannada communities in Wentworth, we are well received. And I can tell you that South Africans hate racial divisions. And in since getting the green light, we have been able to get, even people who are never involved in politics before, and they even agreed to stand as PR candidates. In mind, I have Alan Beasley, our provincial treasurer. He has never been involved in politics. He's a chartered accountant, very successful man. But he said, listen, you guys who have shown us the way, we want to be part of making history. We want to be part of saving our nation. And he even said, you know what? I want to be part, I want to be in the PR list. I want to also go and sort out the billing issues in eThekwini. Because now, that is patriotism. That is patriotism. We want men and women who are willing to put their skills and talent at the disposal of our society. To say, society, you have a problem, we have a problem. We want to assist you in achieving those. Mr. President, I am not giving a keynote address here. I'm just too excited because when you turn one, if you turn one, that's a very important birthday, So you must excuse me if I'm overstepping it. It's because I'm too heavy, For the first time in my life, I'm like feeling, I am so aligned with this organization. And guess what, Michael? I'm going nowhere. We're going to fight and go this organization to be the organization that even in 100 years' time still around. And its values must never be compromised. Mr. President, I must also tell you that in KwaZulu-Natal we have an executive committee, and that executive committee is made up of regional chairpersons or regional campaign managers, drawn from all the 11 regions of eThekwini. In KwaZulu-Natal, we have about 61 municipalities. We have only one metro, eThekwini. We have 10 districts, and we have a presence in each and every district and in every metro, in the metro as well. So, Mr. President, I wanted to say to you, we are very excited, and we wanted to thank you for your visionary leadership, your selflessness, because some of us were beginning to lose hope. And when you got out of your comfort zone, you could be somewhere in Alaska, who knows, with your money. You know, some of us, we don't have money. Even if we wanted to leave, we won't be able to leave the country. But you decided that, you know what, I'm not going to abandon South Africa. I'm not going to abandon South Africa, and I wanted to make sure that South Africa is developed and South Africa becomes the country that we all fought for. When we fought apartheid, we were not fighting apartheid only to replace it with corruption. We fought apartheid because it was unjust, and we are fighting the ANC because it has become unjust. The ANC has become more corrupt and more cruel than the apartheid government. And let me tell you why I am saying this. I'm not exaggerating this. You know, when somebody says, I am going to liberate you, apartheid never said that to us. Apartheid never made that claim. Apartheid said, I hate you, black people, and I'm not going to care about you. But the ANC promised us. It said, I am going to liberate you, and I'm going to unite you, South Africans. But everything they have done, they have negated that. So they lied to us. That is why it's more painful. It is very painful when somebody that gives you false hope. That is why even in love relationships, somebody that claims to love you, it starts cheating, other people start killing themselves. You know what I mean? So because people, they feel more betrayed by the one that you trusted. So that is why I'm saying it's very important to understand that we need to build our country. And in closing, Mr. President, because Lerato is intimidating, I want to say happy birthday, ActionSA, and I want to say let us make sure that we go to every household, as Ma'am Feki was saying, she's my political senior, make sure we get the people to buy into our machine. We must make time to engage our people. We must talk to them. We must tell them what ActionSA is all about. We must not spend more time criticizing others. Let's talk more about what we have to do for this country, because that's what we are about. I thank you.
say, you must speak with Vavavu. And she would say something like, the moment has arrived. And so the moment has arrived. What we've all been waiting for. You know, in the morning, yesterday in Twan, it was so late. Thank you, Twan, it was so late yesterday. And as a result of that, I get home, I'm in the shower, I'm now singing all the struggle songs of ActionSA. And my husband said to me, you must thank the president the next time you see him, because he has given you the opportunity to relive the struggle. Because some of us were very young when everyone was happening. So we are feeling very honored that we have an opportunity now. And I want you guys to sing one, because as I rise, the men we are here to hear, I don't want us to take long, because I want us to take all of the nuggets of what he has to say to us. The call to action that he has called us to, he's also called himself to. And yesterday he says that what the current ruling party has done is to let Black Africans in particular believe that we are unable to self-govern. Yes. Which is an important thing, because it tells me that we are led at ActionSA. Because we have someone who has the ability to self-govern. We have someone who has depth of conviction beyond measure. Yeah. And when I tell you depth of conviction, I mean it. I've seen him in action for the last year almost that I've been here. And time really does fly. So I would like you colleagues to Limo Emi Sekat Minaele for Adume. Let's go to Mela Mashara. Mashara welcome our president to the podium, who spent his birthday, by the way, with all of us and with the community, as opposed to doing something about action, to be serving under you. You are an exemplary leader. You are an encouraging leader. You lead from the front. Sometimes I see you already on Breakfast TV. I feel ashamed because I'm still tatazeling and crawling myself out of bed, and you give me the courage to also get out of bed. So for that, I thank you, and I call you to the podium. Colleagues, please let us rise and welcome our president,
Good morning, beautiful South Africans. Dumelang. Really, South African, Sanbonani. William Pole. Ausheni. Inda. Fellow South Africans, 1 year ago today, on a cold morning like this one, an idea was born. This idea was born under the restrictions of a level 5 lockdown broadcast around the country from a humble studio in the city of Johannesburg. This idea was a product of a 9-month-long conversation called the People's Dialogue, in which millions of South Africans spoke of their dreams and aspirations of their country. This idea has one overarching purpose: to become a bright, shining light of hope can change for the better. My fellow South Africans, there are two very important truths that we must first accept. The first truth is that it is essential, given the conditions of our nation, we can fix South Africa.
Yes.
Let me repeat, we can fix South Africa. If you remember nothing else from my message today, please remember that we can fix our country. We can live in a safe country.
Yes.
We can live in a country where opportunities are abundant. We can live in a country where the corrupt are hunted down mercilessly. We can feel pride in a united national identity. My wish is that every South African must come to believe that these things are not just possible, they are our destiny as a people. The second truth is that in this destiny to be realized, for South Africa to succeed, the ANC must fail. For South Africans, the two cannot live in mutual prosperity. One must be sacrificed for the other to live. And it will not be South Africa that dies. Ladies and gentlemen, like an idea, ActionSA is only given meaning through the power of our people. Alone, without you, the people of South Africa, it is meaningless. But with enough South Africans joining us in the work to fix South Africa, there is nothing that we cannot achieve. I'm pleased to tell you that Action's ranks have swelled since that day 1 year ago. You have come from other political parties. You have come from no political parties at all. You have come from the cities. You have come from the villages and the towns of our country. You have come as men and women, young and old, black and white, Indian and colored. Despite initially committing to contest in Johannesburg, Tshwane, and Ekurhuleni, structures quickly sprouted in all the 9 provinces of our country. The truth is that we could never have been prepared for how quickly South Africans have embraced ActionSA. We have been inundated with requests to contest municipalities across the country, from the Western Cape to Limpopo, and from the Northern Cape to KwaZulu-Natal. We have recently added eThekwini, Newcastle, and Kwadukuza to the list of municipalities that we will contest in the upcoming local government elections. And I can tell you now, if these elections are postponed, there will be more municipalities that will join those that we have already failed to. However, one principle has and will continue to remain true. ActionSA is not about an opposition party. We will not contest to be in opposition. I've been in opposition and I've been in government. I know what you cannot fix South Africa from the opposition benches. South Africa has enough opposition parties who exist solely to give a few politicians a job. Our mission is to remove the ANC from the national government in 2024. This is the only way that we can work to fix South Africa and begin that process. We will do this by contesting municipalities where we can unseat failing government and replace them outright or in a coalition. When we have achieved this, we will deliver all our people of those municipalities. We will use these platforms as a public demonstration to the people of South Africa, far and beyond, that residents of this municipality, that ActionSA is the first and only alternative to the ANC. That is why I can tell you that whether you live in a municipality where we contest in these local government elections, or whether you live in a municipality where we will not, we are all in this together to fix South Africa. Over the past year, ActionSA has become a force to be reckoned with. Even our opponents begrudgingly accept this. We have challenged the broken political system of our country. We have implemented a first of its kind system which changed how political parties choose candidates for you. We have allowed residents to directly tell us who should represent them at the polls by initiating the first candidate election system in South Africa. This system saw residents of Tshwane, Johannesburg, and Ekurhuleni, whether they were members of our party or not, voting on which ActionSA candidate would serve them best. For the first time, we've gave communities the power to choose candidates. The very same system formed the backbone of our performance management for our public representatives. At the midterm mark, we will again hold primaries that assess the community satisfaction with the performance of our public representatives. If they are performing at an acceptable standard, if they fail to, they will be replaced. And you should know what, and I want you to know that, because this for me matters. Because when you know who appointed you, when you know who is assessing you, and when you know who has the power to fire you are clear on who you need to serve. Yes. Our public representatives will put their communities first and the party second. Immediately after the hard knock of last year, ActionSA was the first party to hit the streets and issue awards acknowledging the bravery of men and women who operated on the front lines of our healthcare system and essential services. We worked with South African Medical Association to ensure that unemployed South African doctors were hired during the lockdown because we knew it was criminal to have our own highly trained doctors who are sought after by the whole world, sitting at home while they were needed the most. We tackled the employment of Cuban doctors and engineers by our government as an insult to a highly capable nation where many in the absence of constitutional authority, we held public hearing into the water crisis in Amanskraal, something no political party has done before. We assembled a panel of independent experts, leaders of society, listened to 3 days of submissions by residents of Amanskraal, business owners, farmers, civil society groupings about the human rights disaster that is the water provided to the people of Amanskraal. Within just a few months, a final report was completed, which revealed not just the failure of the city of Tshwane, but also solutions that are needed to solve this problem. It was given to the mayor of Tshwane, but I do not doubt that the solution will lie in the hands of Mayor Abel Dow. We have initiated the first class action lawsuit representing now over 500 businesses against the President of our country, Minister of Police, and the ANC for the insurrections that took place in KwaZulu-Natal and Johannesburg. Through this precedent, we will send out a very expensive message to our government and politicians that they can and they will be held accountable for either the inaction or the actions that directly lead to the destruction of property. In addition to this, ActionSA gave the President's notice. South Africans should never fall victim to the ANC's factional battles again. We have stood alone in fighting for the people of Lily Mine, the families and former miners in the nearly 6-year bid to retrieve the bodies of their loved ones trapped underground in February 2016 when the mine collapsed. Fellow South Africans, please allow me to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Harry Mazibuke, the spokesperson of the affected families and miners of this tragedy. We have fought for the private prosecution of mine management who were found to be criminally responsible for the collapse of the mine by the 2017 DMRE report. Because of our efforts, an official NPA inquest has been initiated to begin in 8 days' time. We have run an expert-driven policy development process that will make ActionSA a party that delivers hope through credible solutions for our country. In the past, I've seen policies written by politicians, economic policies by politicians who've never created a business or employed a person, health policies by politicians who've never healed a patient, criminal justice policies by politicians who've never dared to pursue a criminal. We have changed this in ActionSA. We have run a policy development process with professional South Africans. They've come forward in their numbers with incredible insights into the issues they grapple with every day in their respective fields. They know what needs to be done in our schools, hospitals, and police stations. They have witnessed daily, for many years, how the solutions have been ignored by people who were in positions because of who they knew, not what they knew. We have assembled a leadership team of great South Africans who have a track record in putting the country first and their party second. Leaders like Dr. Makosi Khoza from KZN, our provincial chairperson, who stood up to Jacob Zuma at the height of his powers and publicly declared that she would vote for a motion of no confidence in him. Our Western Cape provincial chairperson, whose bravery is the reason there's the State Capture Commission of Inquiry She exposed the minister's post being offered by the Guptas. Our leadership team left political parties which were failing South Africans and they've dedicated themselves to ActionSA because the country must always come before the party.
Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, I grew up very close to my grandfather, and my father passed away when I was 2 years old. He was a wise man who taught me that we must always listen to what people say, but trust what people do. In this respect, ActionSA stands above other parties in this upcoming local government elections because we have a track record of success in local government. In a party that is just a year old today, we have former mayors, MMCs, chiefs of staff, the chief of Metro Police, the CEO of SALGA, chairpersons of portfolio committees, and the list goes on and it goes on. Not many political parties can claim this kind of experience in government in the first year of existence. We can show what was delivered in the city of Johannesburg in just 3 years, not just an evidence of our commitment to fixing South Africa, but as the core offer that we make to other municipalities. In just 3 years, 2 billion rands was redirected from wasteful political luxuries of international travel, conferences, self-promoting advertising, and the like, and redirected to electricity, water, roads, and housing, such that the share of these priorities in the capital budget increased from 58% to 71%. This investment started the first halting of the decline of our infrastructure and began to reverse the backlog, reduce the power outages, lessen the burst in our water pipes, and resurface over 900 kilometers of roads. An anti-corruption unit was set up under the leadership of a former Scorpion and capacitated with the best prosecutors, investigators, accountants, and policemen and women. They investigated over 6,000 cases of wrongdoing, totaling more than 35 billion rands, and affected over 700 arrests. An inner city rejuvenation project began tackling abandoned and city-owned properties and giving them to the private sector to produce world-class, low-cost, affordable accommodation close to economic opportunities. This produced plans for 32 billion rands in investments, 25,000 accommodation units, and 12,000 construction sector jobs. The same was being done with abandoned factories. Johannesburg then, and across South Africa, has abandoned factories that lie unused, tombstones of once thriving businesses that employed South Africans. These too underwent a process to offer these factories to the private sector based on the value of the investment, the length of the commitment, and how many jobs they would create for our people. A project to extend the hours of operation, the city-operated clinics, so 36 clinics extended late into the night and over weekends. Mobile clinics were procured to take medical services to communities with limited access, and the first city-operated drug rehabilitation facilities were opened. The biggest expansion of a metro police force in recent times expanded the JMPD by over 50% in our first few days in office. This added to the impact of specialized units to pursue drug dealers, address illegal connections, and establish municipal courts. This is our track record in government. It is a guarantee that we can offer real services to people who have grown weary of broken promises and political lies. It is a foundation of trust on which the people of Soweto can believe our promise to end the abuse they endure at the hands of ESCOM and negotiate the future supply of electricity from city power in the city of Johannesburg. Once that is accomplished, we will ensure that every person who pays for electricity here does pay, and those unable to pay receive the basket of free basic services as everyone else in Johannesburg. It is a reason why people can believe that I will take active measures to combat illegal immigration that continues to impact our cities. It is a foundation that the people of Amanskraal can believe when we say that we will deliver to them clean and safe drinkable water. Ladies and gentlemen, only 1 year after his birth, I stand before you with this party that has grown and challenged long-established parties. I can only take a small share of the credit because the credit lies with you, the people of South Africa. It is your love of this country. It is your hatred of what has been done to it. And it is your belief in a better tomorrow that will give ActionSA the support we need to fix South Africa. In closing, please allow me to pay a special tribute and really thank my family, starting with my wife, who's been a pillar of strength, Connie Mashaba. I would probably be a madman today, but they allowed me and given me the space to serve my country, and I'd like to really thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for those beautiful messages that you have given us on this special day, on our birthday. Colleagues, I'm saying this because we have run quite out of time and we are behind on schedule, and that is why I'm also not going to be long. My name is Funzin Gobeni, I'm the National Director of Operations. Mine is just to do a few remarks and remind you of what these leaders have given us today. We have a mandate. We have direction that has been given by our leaders. We have heard them. They are quite clear on what needs to happen. We did listen to John Moody. If you missed a lot of what he said, you would have picked up that John says, this political party is not for us. This political party belongs to the community. It belongs to people like Nathaniel Julius, who passed away in Eldorado Park. What he means is that it's very important that us as members and actioners must never feel that we are more important than this organization. You will have listened to Mefeki Mento, and if you missed a lot of what she said, you need to remember what she said to us as volunteers and activists of this organization. We must never be complacent. We must never be complacent. We must never believe our own propaganda. When they tell you outside there that you are so big, hey, you have grown in 1 year, hey, unchaman, hey, you are so, hey, you are intimidating. Don't believe them up until you get to elections. Let's continue to work very hard, leaders, so that we can be able to see the fruits of our work. If you missed anything, what Dr. Makosi Kosa said, I think it's very important that we must remember. When she said, we are building on a vision that was laid by Tate Inkosi Albert Mtu. And she said, they have abandoned that vision Ours is to take that vision and take it forward. Colleagues, our leaders have given us a mandate. The president was quite clear. He says our mission is really to make sure that we remove ANC and to make sure that we are in government in 2024. He said we can fix this country. That's the message that we must take out there, that this country is fixable. Let's not give up on it. Lastly, leaders, let me pay homage to all the volunteers of ActionSA. Since we started on this journey, in the height of COVID-19, level 5, we were able to build structures across the country. We were able to produce voting district captains, block champions, BCMs, RCMs, CCMs. I want to pay homage to all of you colleagues, provincial coordinators. We are here because of the hard work that you have put in. And thank you very much. Don't be complacent when I say this. It means that we must now work even more harder. We want to remember all those that we started with them that are not with us today. Others decided and chose to leave out of their own will because they got tired, they got disgruntled, they made individual decisions that they will join other parties or even start their own political parties. But others are not with us here today because we lost them in this battle against COVID. We lost a number of our volunteers in this journey, and we want to remember them. From Tshwane, from Ekurhuleni, from here in Johannesburg, from eThekwini, from in the Western Cape in Cape Town. Those that have passed away, we say rest in peace. We've taken the baton, we'll run with it, we'll get to victory. I want to say, police, thank you very much to the staff in the office of ActionSA who are working tirelessly every day. From the comms office, those that have planned this event today, that have put it together, what 39 here, Osmi Poli, the RCM, OSMA, thank you very much for making sure that we have a successful event. Pay homage to our policy office, led by Andre Kotsia. He's working behind the scenes. You won't see him, but the work that he's doing is what is driving us forward. Lastly, to the office of the National Chairperson, Mtate Michael Bowman. He's our leader, he's telling us on a daily basis, he's driving this campaign, he's in front, he's at the back, he's everywhere. You won't miss him. Thank you very much for the work that you're doing. The national spokesperson, thank you very much for the leadership that you are providing every time. And the most important colleagues of us we are looking forward to them to win in their metros. Our mayoral candidate, Able Tau, Kokumu Seki, Dade Hemet Ashara. I just came back to take my second jab, so if I missed anyone, myself and my wife who's here, Masi Chaba. If I missed anyone, it's because of the side effect. So thank you very much, colleagues. Amanda! Viva ActionSA, viva! Tata, ActionSA, tata!
Thank you so much. I can't say thank you because I think Quincy has done that enough. Thank you for being a great audience. We don't have much time. I know we are being booted out of here, but we would be remiss if we do not cut the cake, Mr. President. Please, if I may ask the leadership here to go down there, thank the President, and take his cue to cut the cake. And as we do that,
We don't have a
In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen.